It's time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gary.
I love that intro. Welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Minefield. That's Keith.
And that's Gary.
And also over there is Keith. And then down below me is Sven. And in the middle there, that's Ollie. No, that's actually Fat Steven Seagal. And then all the way over on the bottom right is Viking.
Hello.
And I'm going to switch your names back on so everybody knows who the hell you guys are.
Who am I?
I'm Batman.
There you go.
You.
If you don't know me by now.
I want to welcome our chat. I think Sean already left. He just dropped in to say hi to us. But, of course, our good friend Sox is already here. And Captain Trek, what is up, our good friend? And, of course, Six is our administrator moderator. She's in charge of the chat now. She sits in the background. She has full admin privileges. So if this show ends abruptly, we know who did it. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Now, our guest is going to be a little late. He woke up. He like is texting me like a madman this morning. I got a call back. I have to go to it. Are you there? Just one after another. Let me know that he's going to be late, and I'm like, don't worry about it. We'll just banter like we usually do. And of course, we had a lot of news and shit that happened this week. Not to mention, Fat Steven Seagal did a show on Batman on Wednesday, which was really good. Surprisingly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Gary. I couldn't hear with the dick still in your mouth. What was that? I'm sorry, bat dick in your mouth.
Speaking of someone that was on that show with him, again, it was fun. It was an honor to do it. It was an honor just to be amongst everybody and to be talking about the '89 Batman movie, which again was very, very influential. It's the second film that I think is exceedingly influential on everything that we're watching today. The first one being the first Superman movie by Richard Donner.
78. That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
78.
Which it still is, to me, 1978 Superman is still the best superhero film I've ever seen because it did something that nobody else did. And still, in my opinion, hasn't done as well as it did. And Batman in '89 was an outstanding experience, but some of it pissed me off. I mean, I really hated that Disney-esque animation of him turning at the beginning. The Cape Shadow just looks so trashy, And I know that came from Tim working at Disney. I know that's where that came from. And I'm the
reason why I consider it to be the second one is mainly, as I said on the show, it's the marketing of that film is way better than any other movie before it. If they had done that same thing with Superman, geez. I mean, that Batman symbol was everywhere. And people, you couldn't go anywhere without at least seeing those T-shirts or knockoff versions of those T-shirts and everywhere.
Come on, I was a huge Prince fan. I'm sure everybody else here was. And the first thing I did is I went and I bought that album. But I was pissed that it didn't have anything from Danny Elfman on it.
Yeah, they sold.
We had to wait. Yeah. We had to wait for that album. And I loved that album when it came out because it had the moon and the bat wing. That was a great cover.
See, Danny Elfman's score was freaking amazing, and it should have won the Academy Award because
even though I do make fun of him because he doesn't do marches the way John Williams does a march. Because every major theme that John Williams has ever done was a march. But
yeah, but Elfman
Danny
Elfman
has this and at first that fucking annoyed me because everything sounded like The Simpsons to me. Everything had the same tempo as the theme that he did for The Simpsons. And that's why, he's kind of gotten made fun of by Seth MacFarlane on Family Guy for that shit. But the fact is the Batman theme, just the theme by itself is a great fucking theme.
I mean, it's iconic. Yeah. It's completely iconic. The moment that you listen to it, you know that you are listening to Batman. You know, it's just like that big, really. And you just look at some comic book movies right now, which really has a theme or something like that, you know, that iconic that you can really say, oh, it's this movie or it's this character, you know. I think that is what makes, for example, Superman's March by John Williams and this one by Danny Elfman so iconic, both of them, you know.
I think they rely...
Sorry, go ahead, Sven.
Go ahead, Sven.
I think they rely heavily today on like the CGI and that kind of stuff, whereas like the Superman relied heavily on the emotions the actors could emote. Like Sock says, the camera scene when he thinks Lois is dead and it pans around his face, you could see his emotions.
Well, also, you also have to understand that, you know, up until Superman, nobody had ever really attempted to take comic book subject matter seriously on film, because the producers in the studio, especially the producers, their original idea for that movie is almost completely opposite of what Donner ended up making, because they wanted to make something that was making fun of Superman.
Right.
And so they were going to have celebrities.
Which is kind of what the play was. If you remember, there was a Broadway musical.
Yeah, Superman. The Broadway play that came out in 67 or 68.
It was kind of, tongue in cheek.
Yeah. But that was the way everything was. I mean, that's the only way Hollywood could actually understand and put that across as far as bringing comic books to life, was to make fun of it. Thus, the 66 Batman. And again, you know, that worked for what it was. But if you were really trying to make the comic book version of many of these characters come to life, you couldn't get away with that. I mean, could you actually see a comedic version of X-Men or Iron Man?
Yeah,
Iron Man, you could
Iron Man, yeah,
because of who Robert Downey Jr. is.
X-Men would be seen as offensive if you made a comedic version of it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say hello to the people that are dropping in really quickly. Of course, CJ is here. What's up, buddy? Zax. And we got anybody else coming in? Enigmatic Joker. Jacob Archer Barton is here. Welcome. Oh, and our good friend, Martin Acosta Santana. ¿Qué tal, mi amigo? And Sock said something I found interesting, which is I love the camera scene in Superman 78 when Superman thinks Lois is dead in the car. Well, the way the camera pans around Superman and you see the emotions on Superman's face is amazing. I also like the end of that scene when they cut to him. It's a straight overhead shot and him looking up at the camera and using rear screen projection, and he just flies into the air. I fucking love that.
That created the major problem for the movie, though. You know, that created a major problem for them because they couldn't figure out how to end it. The third act of that movie... Well,
they used the ending of what was supposed to be...
Yeah, they used the ending of Superman 2 for the ending, or for how to conclude...
Which, of course, once again, is bad science. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. But, I mean, it was meant to really solve all the problems of both movies, because both movies were seen as one movie, and that's where the producers and the studios messed up in firing Richard Donner, because they didn't really understand that.
Yeah, that was really stupid. CJ says, if they use the theme in the new Flash movie, when we see Keaton, I'll give them some bonus points. I guarantee if they got Keaton, they're going to use the theme.
They will. They use that theme.
They should.
It would be insane not to, because they got Keaton, for a reason.
They already used it in the Justice League.
Justice League.
It was like a readaptation or a reinterpretation of the theme, right? It was not the theme per se. It was just like reworked or retooled or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was, but it was obvious. I mean, you heard the notes. And, They also used the John Williams Superman in that movie too. So,
that's true.
Our good friend Bam Marciano is here. Hey, Bam. That is Mikey Sutton's manager and a good friend of mine. Let's see. CJ says, enigmatic Joker, your profile picture of Tom Baker reminds me of a happier time, yet depresses me. CJ, you're just a fucking depressed person. Really. Please, somebody share the toll-free number for him.
You know what depresses me is when White Keith isn't eating a s'mores granola bar at a very slow pace.
It's sexy. I didn't think that eating granola bars was sexy until I saw Keith eat one.
I just want to tug on his hair every time he takes a bite.
You know what? You should do, Keith. You know, like when you're eating a bar of granola. I don't know if you remember like this video or meme or something of this Filipino guy that used to make like this sexy smile and then careless whisper played out. You know, like he should just like smile before eating the rest of the granola bar. You know, and then play the song. That would be really awesome.
Wow.
Oh my God, Six.
Awesome, but...
Six says, 1/800 bag of dicks works for my depression.
Oh, man.
Like I said, she's our new administrator, so look forward to the fun. Yes. And Bomb says that's Gary as well. So let's see what's all the shit that went down this week, because I know Yellow Flash was talking about Scarlo's interview where she kind of took a feminist slant somehow in this interview, but I did notice in that interview that it doesn't mention the fact that she has played sexy in other films and has even done nude scenes.
Before we talk about that, I'd like to talk about just for a second. I'd like to bring up. I watched a compilation of a lot of media interviews that she's done over her course of her Marvel career, and the media bombards her constantly with sexist questions about is she wearing underwear under her costume and things of that nature. So I take this as her being maybe a little frustrated, maybe a little tired from doing all the stuff.
Well, you don't know the context. She was having a human moment, and I think she was directing her comment at the media. I wouldn't be surprised, because the media is the
worst,
the bastion of intellectual ineptitude. They absolutely are fixated with whatever is the big gimmick that week of things that we have to attack, or Joe Biden eating ice cream. You know, they just don't understand what asking a real question is. That's why these shows are getting more and more popular. Wait a second, what'd she say? Wait, Gary didn't tell me shit of what to do. Okay.
That is true. I was there. He didn't say anything except, does this work?
We answered the one question. Steve answered half of it. This is how you put the comments on the screen. This is how you take them off.
Technically, comments was replaced with the word condoms.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jacob. Thank you very much. And, thank you for showing up, guys. I really appreciate it. It's Friday. You got no job, and I'm going to get you so high. Oh, wait, no, that's Friday, the movie. Oh, shit, this is real Friday. We will be having our guest. I'm praying he makes it. Fahim is a working actor. He's an author, best-selling and award-winning author. In fact, how we met is I painted the cover to his award-winning book. And we just became instant friends. Oh, he would call me Bus. Hey, Bus, how you doing? And I just fucking love the guy. He's so sweet. Hey, Mr. Tickle Trunk's here. God, I love Tickle Trunk. It's so perverted a name. Listening while working. I'm happy when I get to catch this stream on Fridays. Also, Johansson used body double for films like Under the Skin. She did not use a body double for that movie, The Black Dahlia, for the ass shot, because we got to see her face come around.
What you mean she used a body double? Frontal.
Oh, for the frontal, she obviously was her, but for back shots. But the thing is, she's got a lot of junk in her trunk, so I don't know why she needs a body double.
Yeah, there was full frontal in Under the Skin. Like, are you sure that was a body double?
We're gonna leave it to Sven, who is the all-knowing person when it comes to full frontal nudity in film.
If an actress has bared her bared her,
I don't
whatever,
know.
has taken off clothes in a movie, I usually know about it.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, do you know where you got that information from? Because I'm curious if she had a body double for just some of the scenes. But I want to thank you. Hold on, Stephen. I want to thank you for your Canadian $5. I don't know how to spend Canadian money, but thank you. Unless I go to Canada and buy Stephen one of those things that he introduced me to with the fries and the gravy and the cheese.
Poutine.
Poutine's awesome.
That shit's good.
Oh, it's so good.
I will say, I will point to one thing. Has everybody seen the new trailer that just dropped for Shang-Chi? And has it changed your mind about?
Oh yes.
No, not at all.
Yes, I have seen it.
I thought I was watching Mortal Kombat in one of the scenes. I swear to God.
It looked good, I mean, it's not like I am still not interested, but it's better than the previous one. I think that this one was much better than the previous one, but it's still not something that will make me interested.
Yeah.
Can we call Sven Scarboob from now on?
Scarboob.
Hey, I've got an
Mr.
avatar.
Skin.
I don't want to see that weirdo.
Why don't you want to see? Oh my God!
She's got boobs. She knows how to use them.
That's actually a good idea. If I ever do a weekly live stream, we'll have a little game called "Whose Boobs Are These?"
They're yours. You just shaved them.
Well, we also had the unveiling of this past week of the Suicide Squad trailer, and I think this might be the last trailer. So this trailer is meant to be the final trailer, their big trailer. Has everyone seen that one?
No,
I have not.
I have no idea.
I'm avoiding.
I'm not too excited about it. We'll see.
I'm just avoiding the fact that every trailer we get just spoils the whole movie. I'd rather not do it. Yeah, the only trailer I've seen recently was Shang-Chi and Picard.
Yeah, I'm with you, Steven. I tend to avoid them for that reason.
I'm passionate about three things.
You look
Mr.
at this.
Tickle Trunk. Read Mr. Tickle Trunk.
I'm passionate about three things: medieval fantasy, space-based sci-fi, and gratuitous nudity.
What about masturbating in public?
Oh God!
It almost ended our show when Keith got busted for that.
Masturbating? No.
What stadium was it happening at? I really want to relive the Pee Wee Herman experience.
Must be that shower curd.
Hey, Pee Wee's next movie is coming in a theater near you.
Barely coming in your hand.
Oh man!
Back to the trailer thing. Steven, that's a good point. I always say like the Thor Ragnarok trailer and the Blade Runner 2049 trailers were two reasons I stopped watching trailers, because if you went to the theater and the Hulk burst out and you had no idea that was going to happen, you'd be like, oh, but everyone knew it was going to happen. You kind of went to the movie going, where's the Hulk? Where's the Hulk? And same with revealing Harrison Ford in the Blade Runner trailer. That should have never happened.
That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Socks, I agree with you. I don't give two shits what's happening in season 2. As long as Alex Kurtzman is still there, I'm not going to watch a fucking thing that they give us.
Hot
fuck them.
Trash.
Oh, I'm enjoying
easy.
this. There we go. She finally stopped it.
It's easy to avoid all of this stuff having to do with Discovery and Picard and all that stuff, because it's just...
And there's no K in Picard.
Oh.
And the P is capitalized. Just telling you, Socks. Just letting you know.
It is, looking at the only thing that truly interests me about this upcoming season of Picard is that this is the season that Mark Bernardin worked on. Because I remember when he got hired to work for Star Trek Picard. So this would have a lot of his contributions. And what little positive he would add to anything is going to be outweighed by the massive amount of stupidity and just dumbassery coming straight from everyone else.
Agreed wholeheartedly.
Well said.
And I will say this, because I'm not excited, but I did like the visuals and I like the action for the Shang-Chi. But what CJ says here, Lee Shang-Chi didn't use the gangster rap song "I'm on a New Level" Snake Eyes keeps using. I agree. That's such a dumb fucking. I am not going to watch that fucking movie. Which sounds like Emmanuel Levo. Funny fucker Gary.
You know what? I'm at
good ice cream flavor
with Snake Eyes. I don't know. On the one hand, it is G.I. Joe related. The action does look good. I think if they called it something else, I'd be there. But the fact that it's
the whole thing was to try to appease the Chinese government, and then it fucking flopped on them. And it's like China's like, we don't want you. We do not want your movie. Thank you, but no.
That was in the
I think it's going to be. I think that is going to be the same with Shang-Chi because of Fu Manchu. That was the character that played Shang-Chi's father in the comic books, and the Chinese don't really take it too nicely with that depiction of Fu Manchu. I think that his father now is Mandarin, of course, but I think that they are going to go with no, we know that this character is the man, it's the Fu Manchu son, so now we are going to pass on it. In a pretty similar fashion to what happened with Mulan.
Also, what's happening with the Eternals, because that one's also been turned out. So I think Shang-Chi and the Eternals, two of the big films that Kevin Feige wants to put out there, both of which will also be catering to, or were made to cater to the Chinese government, are being rejected by the Chinese government. So,
I don't know who that character is, but that's not Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes doesn't speak. And Snake Eyes is a blue-eyed, blonde-haired German, I believe. Maybe not, but he's a white dude.
An outcast.
That
was his whole story arc.
Yeah, well, I mean, but then that's been changed. I mean, Larry Hama has changed it. So he's actually given more interviews restating exactly what he said before, that that what they've done with the character is beyond fine with him. In fact, it's what he quote unquote wanted to do originally.
Well, when they back up the money truck.
True. Hey, look, you want to back up that much money on my house? I'll say anything you want me to say.
I know Larry.
It's just like Neil Gaiman, with the Sandman thing for Netflix. It's the same thing. Last year he was just all around saying, don't change the characters. Like Batman is not Batman if he has like this raincoat that is yellow, blah blah blah. And then now he has this change of now death is not this woman that you are used to seeing in the comic books and all that. It's like, come on. I mean, we know that it is because of the money.
Everybody in the chat, let me know if you need subtitles for Viking Out of Time. I'll take care of it.
That's a good point, Viking, because Neil Gaiman also was years ago was talking about how you're not supposed to alter the character's lore. Because he used the example that if you put Batman in a trench coat, it's not Batman, right?
And I'm all for diverse stories of different cultures and different.
Yeah,
people with
when
different
it works
skin
part of the story, right? Yeah.
Why doesn't Hollywood? Oh my God, Africa as a continent has such a large and rich history and mythos. Make original stories. It's not that.
Well, you have people in Africa right now creating their own comic books, their own superheroes. Nobody's going over there to adapt any of that stuff. It's always like. This is over there. It's just too far for us to go. You know what? Let's just go ahead and have Iron Man be black.
Yeah, you read that now, Keith? I saw you. You laughed.
I just saw that, yeah. They did. This particular Trump.
And also, they don't want to take the time to establish new characters. They just want the reputation of the IPs, the franchises, because it's easier for them right now. I mean, the Hollywood is filled with retoolers. They're not creators really. They are retoolers.
They're
repurposers, pretenders, takers. Lots of takers.
Usurpers. Gravedigger.
I mean, look. It's exactly like you said, Viking. This is just embarrassing. Again, DC, Warner Brothers should be embarrassed with what they don't know about the IP of DC that they have. I mean, DC Comics was established under Julius Schwartz as being something that was mainly a lot of science fiction.
Would you say that Schwartz was with her?
With him, yes.
With him.
But given...
I assume his gender.
Is her Schwartz as big as yours?
but given the history of Mr. Schwartz and how it ties into really science fiction in America, being one of the people that helped to found the 1939 World Science Fiction Convention, there's a reason why everything had to be like that for him, and why he naturally, set a lot of stories in space and established several DC comics that were set in space. If you look at everything he did from the early 1950s straight in and through to the 60s, there are a lot of characters introduced that have a space connection. Okay, yeah. I think DC had a much better grouping of characters and stories set in outer space, establishing that as almost its own separate sort of story base than even with a lot of their Earth stuff, than even Marvel had. And if they had gone down that road instead of treating everything oddly, you could have made something like even Man of Steel work, because of the angle that was taken by Christopher Nolan, Jonathan Nolan, and David Goyer when they came up with the idea for both the story and the screenplay of Man of Steel, and having the beginning of the story be a science fiction story, which is technically what it is.
Yep.
But hey, that's asking too much, right? I mean, that's a little too much thought there, and
they gotta get the movies out quickly. They don't want to miss on the money.
Jesus Christ, Keith, lighten up! It's just a fucking movie.
I know. Yeah, that's the black guy speaking again. Can we do?
God, angry black man.
I don't know.
Thank God we're not all in the same studio.
You give us one movie about a Black Panther, and you can't stop us.
You know what pissed me off about that movie? It really does disappoint me that they put so little fucking money into the effects at the end.
Yeah. It's kind of reminiscent of what happened with X-Men.
I just expect better from the MCU. The last battle was so visually confusing and uninteresting. And I'm sitting there thinking, you really wanted to push this fucking movie, and then you give us a shitty fucking battle.
I don't know if it happened to you, but
the stunts were good, but the CG battle was just awful. I mean,
it felt rushed. I don't know if you felt the same when you watched it.
It was just like Sony's version of Venom, that final battle scene at the rocket launch site. It's just like, come on, man! You knew this scene was coming, and you nickel and dimed it. Really?
I knew it was coming. All over their face, neck, and chest.
Wow. They got to make that release deadline. Come hell or high water.
What kind of movie are we talking about here?
Oh, we must have not watched the same movie. Okay.
But so what else was in the news this week, Keith?
Oh man. Let's see. We've already discussed the trailers. The big discussion about Loki and
Loki.
episode 3 of Loki. Has everybody seen that?
No, but I saw the Hill versus Babyface video in which he says that it's a waste of time, that whole episode, that it doesn't really move the story forward. And he was complaining about that a little bit of, the exchange between Sylvie, I think the character is called, and Loki, when they are like sort of sharing, romantic pieces of advice or something like that. Like they come out as bisexual or something like that. And the director also took to Twitter to say, yeah, well, it was important for the character because that's who the character is and that's who I am, you know. So it's like a self-insert once again.
Yeah, it's who the director is. It's not who the character is, because it was. I mean, he didn't even say he was bisexual. The character just says, you know, whether it was a prince or, you know, whatever, maybe both. It's like it was a throwaway line that had absolutely no meaning for the story. It had no weight or balance. It did not push the plot forward or the story. And every bit of dialogue, as you know, in good writing, is there to push the story forward. That's all. It's not there for any other reason.
I'm not watching this show because I cannot put the energy into watching something that I know I'm going to hate. I just don't have the energy. Ben.
I'm with you all the way on that. I won't watch it.
I can't do it. I'm done with Disney.
Because I got to tell you, you know, like if it's part of the story and it has something to do with the story or the character, it's important about that character in the story for their sexuality to be important, whether hetero or whatever, then it's important. But if it has nothing to do with it, it's like, why are you throwing it in there other than what's referred to as exploitation? That's all that is. It's exploitation. It's cheap and it's derivative, and it's has nothing to do with good storytelling. But I don't
should be modeled on how they.
But I want to make it clear: I don't care if someone's gay in the show. Don't give two shits. I mean, what I care about is being told a good story. That's all I care about.
That came out on Netflix last year called The Old Guard, Charlize Theron, and it was a great movie, and it had two gay characters in it. You know, their sexuality was prominent. The difference is that did not define their characters. They just happened to be gay. There was a speech where like they got captured and they're in the back of this van, and one of the guards made a homophobic remark to him, and this one dude put him in his place. He was like, he is not my boyfriend or whatever. He's like, I love this man. I've loved him for I don't remember the speech. It's a long speech, but it's like, yes, that's exactly how you do that.
I see that's what I said about that scene. If you're going to do that, that should be the type and level of writing that they have on a show like Star Trek Discovery. That should be it. Exactly. That should be your baseline for basically writing something like that. Not what they try to get away with, and not shoving everything into everyone's faces. Just be. Just be.
Question. What part of the movies in Marvel were things being shoved in their faces, and how slow do I have to play it to see it?
Okay, what you're looking for is a specific
Well, I want to point out something. One of my favorite my favorite action thrillers TV series was Banshee.
I just finished watching.
I fucking loved that gay character in there. He was a badass.
Yeah, he was. Like, he was one of my favorite characters. He didn't give a fuck, and he would whoop your ass.
He was just so fucking vicious, too, when he was talking to people, he would just let it loose.
And some of those outfits and shit that he would wear, I was like,
just outlandish. And I'm just laughing my butt off at it. He's a great character. And this is where somebody wrote a gay character that is prominently a main character on the show.
And that was a decade ago, right?
And there's nothing offensive about it because it's not politically driven.
Yeah, that show was like a decade ago, right? That's the thing.
Sop's going to hate me bringing this up.
It happens organically like that.
Hey, Gary, what you think of the new Halloween trailer?
Banshee's got some great gratuitous nudity in it as well.
Oh my God, it's Cinemax. It's Cinemax, dude. You're gonna have soft porn fucking in every show they produce.
I am surprised, and again, this goes to the level of what they don't know at Warner Brothers, the people that have been running it for the last 20 years. If they really wanted to have gay characters, go ahead and adapt The Authority, and specifically Midnighter and Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
Those two characters are complete badasses, and yet
No, and Marvel
no,
has a
it's
lot
Tim
of
Drake.
characters, like a lot of gay characters, like North Star is there, Wanda's son, I never remember his name. He is also gay, I mean, why do you have to push like this thing that they had, I think last week, Bucky and Sam are gay, because we want them to be gay. You have other gay characters inside Marvel as well that you can use for that, I mean, if you are already making movies of unknown characters like Shang-Chi, to please China, why don't you just do the same with these characters and give them movies of their own,
Yeah, Viking last week,
That's
they
right.
made Tim Drake gay
Wait.
for no reason after 30.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Okay,
that.
so Sock's, CJ said Sock's going to hate me for bringing this up, the Halloween trailer. So I posted this last night, and I wrote in my post, William Shatner, still scary after 43 years. Scariest fucking face in horror film history.
Poor Shatner.
I thought that was the picture
Yeah,
of
poor
Kathleen Kennedy's soul.
No, that's Bill Shatner. That is still Bill Shatner's face, and I fucking love that he, of all people, Captain Kirk, and one of my heroes growing up. I fucking love William Shatner, not just as Captain Kirk, but as an individual. That fucking dude was a badass in real life. That I know a lot about him and what he did in his real life, and so I fucking love Shatner. And I love that that's his fucking face on Halloween.
I agree.
That's not Michael Myers. That is a mask of Bill Shatner.
There are a lot of weak people in that can become famous, and Shatner continued to just be a stand-up, all right guy, even during the height of whatever popularity he had coming out of Star Trek.
Well,
he could have been a real dick.
I love
margarine
how
ads and Killer Bees movies.
that guy was everywhere. I love that one show he did, Barbary Coast.
Mhm.
I fucking love that. But I'm going to point out that the people who fucking had an issue with him were all supporting, or what do they call them? Day actors. Like these were people that weren't in every episode. The reason why they were only allowed to work so many hours would bitch about him. And it's like, look, unlike Picard with The Next Generation, when Paramount bought, paid for the rights for them to do that TV series, it was running on the coattails of the original series, its success. And but the original Star Trek wasn't like that. It was a fight to the death to keep that show on the air. And one of those people fighting to the death to keep it on the air was William Shatner. His goal wasn't to take the lines from people in order to fuck with them. He knew that audiences wanted to see something, that this is a Western in space, and they wanted to see a heroic leader. And this character needed to deliver some of these lines that were being given to other people in order to be that. And that is what saved that fucking series from just a one season show. What Shatner did.
I have
and
a good
so,
Shatner.
Fuck, what's his name? George Takei.
George Takei.
I mean, I love George Takei, but he can go fuck himself with the anti-Shatner shit.
I have
He's
a good
fucking asshole. All of them are.
I have a little anecdote of Shatner for you.
All right.
The guy I used to cut for, director, was shooting one of these, ambulance chaser lawyers.
Oh shit! I think
that Shatner was doing, and they were shooting in Toronto, and it snowed really heavily, and half the crew was late. And he said, "Well, we're probably going to run a little overtime, Bill, and we can adjust you." And he goes, "Oh, what do you need me to do? Where do you want the lights?" And he started setting up lights and moving around sandbags and all this stuff, just to help out.
Yeah, that's the way that's the same kind of story they talked about Bill Shatner when he was doing Star Trek. He was the guy that was trying to make the crew laugh. He knew their long hours. He appreciated what they did. He was probably the only person that actually knew every single person who was facing them to shoot that shot. He loved hanging out with the crew. And it was the same thing with Harrison Ford when it came to making, the original classic Star Wars trilogy. He loved just being a useful guy. He loved helping out the crew.
Well, I think it's the same with Keanu Reeves, right?
Yep. I've heard Connery was that way too. Sean Connery was a lot like that too, I heard.
Yeah.
I just
humble people.
I just don't get a lot of the Shatner hate. I really don't. The man is nearing 90. What do you expect? Seriously, you ask him a dumb question, he's going to give you a dumb answer. Again, the man's nearing 90. What do you expect?
I love the fact that he just doesn't take shit off anybody. He really is that character he played on the show Shit My Dad Said. And that's why I thought that show was so great. I hated that it only got one season because it was funny as fuck. I also followed the guy's blog that wrote it and created the show. But ignoring Donald Pleasance is what made me not wait to see these new Halloween films. They ignored him from part 2. Well, look, I don't give two shits about any of the Halloween films after Halloween 2. I really don't. Until H2O. And it opened, because Donald Pleasance was dead, it opened on his house, remember? And all that shit going on there. So to me, it was Halloween, Halloween 2, and then H2O. And those are the only 3 Halloween films I give a shit about.
I'm not really into the whole horror genre.
Nobody cares, Finn. Shut up.
Well, shut up. I'm going to make a point. I'm going to recommend something for you, you dick. I'm not a horror fan, but about a year ago, I watched a movie on Netflix called Ghosts of War. Has anybody ever seen it? You ever seen Ghosts of War? Okay, it's a group. It's a squad. World War II. They've been through some shit. They're taking over, guarding this mansion. I'm not sure. It's in Europe somewhere. From this other squad, and as soon as they arrive, the other squad is like gets the fuck out as quick as they can, and it's like a haunted house. World War II soldiers during World War. It's a good watch if you are a horror fan. It's got kind of like a M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end as well. It's called.
See, I always thought M. Night Shyamalan, and I'm gonna have to check that out. I always thought that M. Night Shyamalan should have directed his own remake version of The Keep, because that movie works. If you follow the book, it works. And I just watching an entire group of Nazis getting taken out in an old keep. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I love that movie. Scott Glenn. I was already a fan of his when that movie came out. Yeah. That was like one of my favorite films with him. Even though he was in the first version of the Man on Fire.
Man on Fire was excellent with him.
I think that's a great film. It's not as good as the Denzel version, though I wish Denzel's version had the ending from the book and from the first movie.
Yeah.
Because Creasy goes on to fight again. And...
Sorry.
What the fuck are you laughing?
Sock's comment.
Oh, would you consider Star Trek Enterprise the last best? Well, I actually responded to him, and I said I'm a big fan of all the Star Treks from TNG to Enterprise, but TOS is it for me. It's the not the end all, but it is better than all of those in my opinion.
I need to share a video.
What?
Without the original, there's no other ones. So
I watched Enterprise religiously because, oh my God, DePaul is so fucking hot.
So you didn't watch for Star Trek?
No, I disagree, Keith. Season 3 and season 4 were really good.
Season 3, yeah.
Season 2 was better than season 1. Season 1 was just riddled with all kinds of fucking problems.
It was rough. Yeah.
But they were trying to use the formula of Western in space again.
Yep. Where they made the mistake
was a new frontier.
It should have been Captain April, though. That's where they made the mistake.
I think so. I think he should have been April. I completely agree.
I shared a video, I think, with you, Gary, that somebody had put together.
You share a lot of weird ones, like the horse and the 3 girls and a horse. I don't know why you share those with me.
Did you get the one with the camel and the lasso and the water sports? I got that last night.
That's definitely not me sending those. I'm the one that sent the whole video about how Enterprise could be, used as an example of how to fit Discovery and everything else in, including J.J. Abrams' version of Star Trek.
Easily, because all they're doing is a prequel to Enterprise, but they couldn't even fucking do that.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, but how the timeline was changed.
Fucking idiot.
There's a whole messing with the timeline during the first season of Enterprise that it looks like everything that came after was altered from what it should have been. And that Enterprise is an example of you actually watching the timeline being changed. And that what happens to that crew, even the death of Tucker, was part of the entire change that they had. And just screwing with the timeline and never really fixing it thereafter, which is how you get, the Discovery version of Star Trek and everything that comes after. That's all an altered timeline from the way that it should have been.
I do give them credit on Enterprise, though, for the art direction, because they had to. It was tough. You couldn't make it look pre-1960s Trek. No one would watch it. But you also had, so they had to ride that fine line. And the fact that they made the ship like an interior of a submarine, very industrial looking, work.
I think it would have worked out better. And I know this is asking a lot, but I think it would have worked out better if they had aimed that show to be more like The Expanse. If you're going to start from the beginning, start from the beginning. Show us the characters. Show us how they bring everything together, and show us that at least, given where we were headed as a species, I would have expected us to at least be a little more out there and about as far as space goes, rather than just sitting on Earth because the Vulcans said you can't do that. I would have expected somebody to go, yeah, on Earth, we have a response to that as F you.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing quickly to all you gentlemen here and everyone in the chat? I love all of your guys' hair. I think you're all stunning and brave, and I'm going to cry with you later after the show, quoting Discovery. You're all so beautiful. I can't keep it away no more. Take your shirt off.
I'll fucking do it.
You've already done it. I don't need it again. No, I'm trying to enjoy my steak now. Thank you. Not see man boob steak. Why is there a nipple on that steak? That's good.
Titties are titties.
You don't care who you simp for, do you?
I love the decontamination chamber because it got them in their skivvies. Those scenes
that was really cool. That was really cool on Enterprise that they had a decon.
It was a Pornhub intro.
She had pokies, man. Those were just.
Well, everybody knows that
they got oils and.
What is his name? That's working on. That's the executive producer on Orville.
Brandon Braga.
Brandon Braga had to have sexy women. That's how we got 7 of 9, and that's how we got the female. What's her name? I forget on Enterprise. T'Pol. And Yoshi. It's just that's his thing. It's like, and
it's a beautiful thing.
I'm not complaining, but I do feel bad for the actor that played 7 of 9 because she had all kinds of physical problems playing that character because the suits she wore were so damn tight.
But yeah, I think that's where a lot of you're getting a lot of what these actors are wanting to do and why they are willing to work on a show like Picard with Alex Kurtzman. It gives them the opportunity to get some payback because some of these actors are disgruntled from their years of working on those shows. And they look at it as their way of just getting payback. I really do believe that.
Well, I want to point out that do you want payback or do you want to have a continued show?
Do you want payback or a paycheck?
That's it.
Right.
I also have another idea quickly. That's a new rule for Sven.
Hey, Kylock.
He's not allowed to take any Cialis or Viagra before the show because I'm tired of hanging out with this 6-person panel and his dick. It's really awkward.
Look, I had some
that thing at me, you weirdo. We lost me.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, it could be worse. I could be naked on camera.
All right, so
hi everyone.
I'm hoping.
I'd just like to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to I just want to let everybody know that I'm still hoping to hear from our guest here soon. So I'm waiting for either a text message or a phone call or for him to just show up.
I would like to officially tell my parents, hey, everyone, these are my friends. This is how they
just the 6 of us, not the 7th member. Get it?
So, yeah.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
I'm glad that was waving and not the other thing.
So proud. So proud.
To boldly go where no one has gone.
Things that Gary says that sounded good in his head but are fucked up. You know, we're friends with you not because you're black, but in spite of you being black.
Black Keith matters.
That wasn't racist at all.
It just got really quiet.
Yeah, these are my friends. These are people that I spend
Sorry for the
time with.
mistake.
For the next hour.
Sorry, I didn't make the right decisions all the time.
I never really thought about stuff like that. Like, I grew up in Eastern Indiana, not far from where Keith is, actually. And I had black friends in high school, and your skin color didn't really affect, you know, it was all about who you were and not what you looked like when I was a kid. I did grow up when, you know, in the 90s when all the rioting shit was going on in Los Angeles. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
You know what? I cannot seriously look out and say that I had an awful life. Okay, I know a lot of people that had it much worse than I ever could. You know, especially a lot of people that came of age alongside my parents. My thing and the way I was raised is you just treat everybody like a person and go from there. Mm-hmm. And if they don't laugh at your joke, then fuck them. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. I meant to say.
Wait. So if they don't laugh at my joke, we have a right to fuck them? Really? Is that new? I haven't heard that by You didn't laugh. Bend over, bitch.
The
I'm coming
opinions
in.
expressed by Keith Moncrief on this show are not necessarily those of Pop Culture Minefield.
They are associated.
Please do not fuck people just because of anything.
Because they don't
laugh, careful where you whip it out.
It's not the R word. It's surprise butts.
Whoa. It's surprise punchline. Is that what it's called?
Hey, I've got the Keith Moncrief card that says I can fuck anybody. That doesn't laugh at my joke.
There you go, Keith. If you don't laugh, he will fuck you.
And that should go. that should go. That face that Keith did when he did this, that should be on the card. Like
that should
with a little
NDA too. That should be at the bottom of the NDA. You know, just.
Well, you know, there are 3 stages of cards that you give out. You know, you give out the blue card because, you know, we're friends.
I thought they were choking.
You give out the white card because you're starting to get some privileges, and then you give out the red card because now you are officially kind of sort of black. Your game will improve, and you know what game I'm talking about.
Basketball.
And
it's definitely not baseball. I've seen Jordan play.
What? Jacob Archer says, this is where I came in and show myself out.
You hear that sound? There's a new card. It's called the demonetized card. Did we cross that out? He's still crying.
These jokes are why I will never monetize our videos, because they're fucking hilarious moments that we'd absolutely demonetize our show.
You okay there, Keith?
Keith, agree, man. Well, lady,
Call
he doesn't
911.
worry about getting fucked, so it's all good.
You killed Keith, you bastards.
Call
You
911.
bastards.
No, Steven Seagal.
You remember that time when Keith got all racist?
I take responsibility for White Keith Avatar killing Black Keith.
Hey, I did get a message, and hopefully our guest will be here in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Sadly, we can't talk about his audition.
I like Keith's rendition of the witch from Wizard of Oz. I'm melting.
I'm
Oh, what a world!
Oh man.
I'm sorry, Keith. I'm sorry, Keith's parents. I saw an opening and they laughed.
There's that and Snow White.
I mean, Snow Off-White.
Yeah.
Not so.
See, I take.
Keith left camera.
He's like,
I
motherfucker.
can't be on camera anymore.
That story is Snow White was written by the Brothers Grimm. The original story was taken from folklore that is German in origin. So it's not Anglo-Saxon, it's German. It'd more be closer to like Russian. I don't remember what that.
It's East European. Basically, yeah. It's not Anglo-Saxon at all. So
No.
I mean, like I'm back and forth on it. Like I don't care that somebody that's not of that ancestry plays Snow White, but the character's description is literally lips as red as blood, hair as black as coal,
Snow White,
skin as white as snow.
Yeah,
and tales as old as time, Beauty and the Beast.
This goes back to what we were saying earlier. There are stories in various cultures around the world that you really don't have to use stories like Snow White. You could tell the stories, folk tales out of Africa that a lot of Hollywood people don't really seem to want to tell. That if you need to show characters of color,
what was that movie
you could tell those stories.
Del Toro put out a few years back, and it was in Spanish and dubbed, and it was
Fawn's Labyrinth.
Yeah,
Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah,
do shit like that.
Yeah.
That was a big hit, wasn't it? And it was in another language.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion though. If it's going to be Snow Off-White and the 7 midget luchadors, do you think it would work out?
I think
this is how you play it off. You get 7 doors, right? So you got L, then G, then B, then G,
And Q,
then
and
plus.
But you can't call them dwarfs. You have to call them little people.
Yeah,
I'll call it whatever the hell I want. You're short and funny.
I think that it's quite telling that they are getting a girl with, not white to play this role of this sort of maiden that goes and cooks for all these midgets and cleans and washes and everything, and then waits for the guy to come and kiss her and take her to his castle.
Here's the thing. Like, I looked through a lot of her images, and she is. I mean, she could pull it off. The thing, what I'm predicting is the left is going to lose their shit. Number one, when Disney digitally lightens her skin, and they see that context of this person doing what you just said.
But it's not even just that. It's not even just that. You guys have to also remember that data race.
Hold on, Stephen. Let me add something in there. When you say left, what you mean is the cancel culture and SJW, not liberals.
No, not liberals at all. No.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Stephen. I'm sorry.
The blue-haired land whales.
Oh my God.
With their Kool-Aid hair.
Scarens, if you're going to call it from Farscape. Secondly, if you actually read all of Data Racer's compilations of her tweets, they're literally just hiring someone that's literally just hateful. Cancel culture themselves. It's literally Disney is so firm in their ground that they don't no longer want to apologize or fix things or back down a little bit. They just want to sit there in that hole and keep hiring them, whether it's authors, whether it's writers, whether it's everything is the same with them right now. They have dug this hole, they have followed this one camp, and they're continuing down this road. They don't care anymore. They're using the literal people like this not as actresses or actors. They're using them because It's the only way to get promotion free on YouTubers who are seeing the hate they are spouting and they're using it as a promotional promotional aid. That's all it is.
Yeah.
She might be a beautiful woman, but she's fucking ugly inside.
Yep.
I've seen those tweets. They're not proper. That's not how you go around being a role model, especially with something like a princess, a Disney princess, Snow White, and you're on Twitter saying, hey, I got the role. Meanwhile, your whole back history is nothing more than something that is not a role model, not only for a kid or even a family that wants their kid to see fairy tales.
Yeah.
So I don't care how much they're trying to, what they're doing. They've just ruined another fairy tale for fucking virtue signaling.
Well, of course, because they hired.
I don't know if you remember, guys, last year that they said, I think in Disney parks that it was non-consensual, that Snow White was kissing the prince, or vice versa. I mean, so now because it is a Latin American girl, now it's okay, to have Snow White, and it's not going to be rapey at all. Or I mean, it's just the hypocrisy of all this, that is going on all the time.
I got no problem with a Latina woman playing a Germanic princess, but in that same realm, other people can't say shit about an Anglo-Saxon man playing Zorro. Now, if you're championing this, then it's the same thing.
The point is, they're not hiring what they think. They're not hiring based on talent and quality of acting. They're not hiring based off what the character they're portraying is and what their audience is. And they're not doing enough background checking to make sure that not only will stuff that could affect their company and their income, they're not looking at how much it's going to affect the view in the future of their company and their properties. They have no longer given a care of the magical world. It is now the magical world of bullshit. They don't care.
Virtue signal.
This is beyond virtue signaling at this point. They're standing by people who have literally spouted hate and done everything under the sun that would literally not be acceptable if this was a reality where you can respect another person's opinion, be called out when you make a mistake, learn from that criticism, and grow from it. Not call it harassment or label someone as this, and this, because you get to spout one thing, but then when it's come back at you, you're all of a sudden the victim. I'm tired. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing with having hired Leslie Headland. Why is she still there?
Fred Flintstone?
You know what she did. You know about all the tweets that she was able to get rid of, and having worked so closely with Harvey Weinstein, having set up some of those encounters. I'm still amazed that she still is working in whatever capacity for Disney, let alone Lucasfilm.
In the industry at all, isn't that the exact thing that they were all fighting with the Me Too thing and all this, cancel culture bullshit? It's like you don't even you can't even put together the narrative that you have, like you just go with the wind. Where it goes, you go. That's the thing with the SJWs and all that. They don't really seem to care. They are not self-aware that they are just screwing it all up. Like, I mean, you are now clapping that this girl, is getting this role because she, is the right fit according to your vision. You don't see how she acts like on Twitter and what she said against Gina Carano, for example, when she got fired and all that, that Data Racer had on Twitter. I mean, it's just the same with Leslie Headland and with many others that they have, like Lucasfilm is a place where you have no direction whatsoever. And everyone can do whatever they want,
She looks like Fred Flintstone, John Goodman's Fred Flintstone. That's what the picture just was. That was Headland on John Goodman's body. She looks like John Goodman's Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, I wouldn't do too much with her. First of all, I like Fred Flintstone. I like John Goodman, but for Leslie Headland to have gotten away with what she was able to get away with working, quote unquote, for Weinstein, that's just wow. I mean, wow.
It's despicable, It's just despicable. I mean, it was. I mean, she defended herself, like saying, "Oh, well, I was just there like for a year or something." But in a year, you can do a lot of things. I mean, Weinstein was known for, being wild, hungry on this sort of behavior all the time. So, I mean, how can you just say, "Oh, it was just a year"? And I mean, it's not. I cannot really believe that she's still around, and that she's now having this opportunity over at Lucasfilm, and with all that she has also said, like she's trying to bring diversity, but force diversity to the table, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, and she's even hiring people that don't really know anything about Star Wars. They have not watched it at all.
Our guest is here.
Oh,
anybody who's going to show your face would be a good time to do it, because I want to make him feel very comfortable.
How you guys doing? Sorry.
Hello,
apologize about auditions. I mean, I'm sitting in my room since 7:00 in my closet, actually. Nice to meet you all.
I like it. I love the.
This is from Iron Man. This is from Iron Man, when my wardrobe was Iron Man 1. Actually, Iron Man 3 was the Mandarin. They shot it in China, the Chinese version, and they give me my wardrobe, and I bring it with me as a souvenir.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I'm going to keep it forever.
Well, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you.
It's been over a year since your last visit. And back then it was just Keith and me, and now we've got all these other Muppets joining into the conversation.
I'm not a Muppet.
Maybe I can be.
And we're all smartasses with each other, so just hang loose for a sec. But I did want to show some people your clip.
Right.
I got a scene from 68 Whiskey and from the unit.
Right.
That I wanted to share.
Sure. Go ahead. 68 Whiskey was pretty good one. I was signed for 10 seasons, but they messed it up. Oh, Here we go. This is Unit.
Yep. I'm starting with the unit and then going to 68 Whiskey because it's on your. There you are.
What the hell do I do to this guy? He's demanding medical supplies for his village. Tell him we don't have any to spare right now. Now tell him only my mom speaks to me like that.
All right, I'm going to stop there.
I'm mildly turned on.
Thank you. I'm always bad guy in a movie. At home, I'm a pussy.
That's so funny because even in the new script, I play on that when I'm writing for you. That has you perceived as the villain in it, but at the end, you're actually the good guy.
I swear to God, when I watch with my lady watch a movie and start crying, he says, "Hello, you were in the Marine, you were in Afghanistan, and you cry because of a movie." I'm saying, "Honey, I have a heart. You don't have a heart."
I would like to say thank you. You are the first man to ever show me his unit online, live on stream. So thank you.
There you go. I don't think Fahim got that joke. Well done, Stephen. Well done.
So am I off the hook now?
He's still blushing. I still
just
win.
remember.
I got it.
English is his second language, Stephen.
No, I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah. I got it.
That puts me off the hook, right?
Fahim, had an acting career, came to the United States as a young man, fleeing Afghanistan as it was going under the control of the Taliban.
No, the Russians.
Yeah. And basically he came here and really, I think, worked with our culture in a great way. But he became an actor, was fascinated with film. As I recall, you were fascinated as a young man in film, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I was in our culture in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Our parents wants us to become a doctor
What the fuck?
I know. And it's so funny. And I told my dad I want to become an actor. He slapped me so hard. I still have a pain. And 45 years ago. Yeah. Then I came in this country. Later on, I pay my dues for this country because this country done so much for me. And this is the only country you can follow your dream. And you can be anyone you want, be yourself. That's why I love this country so much. I didn't have a chance to become an actor in Afghanistan or write a book or become a Marine. This country, I know you guys as American, some of you guys, not all of you, take it for granted. And my advice to all American, appreciate this country before go down. And empires go down no matter what. One day it will go down. Just enjoy it as much as you can. Yeah, the dream I had, I want to become an actor, and I follow it, and I never give up. I ask myself 6 questions. Who am I? Who I want to be? Where I want to be? What's my dream? What's my passion? What's my hobby? And I followed that 6 questions, and I'm here now.
That's one thing I like to tell people that cry about everything that's wrong with America. Yeah. We are the most diverse, inclusive country in the world. In the world, most diverse.
They always want to go to the school system and all that shit, you know, like that speech by the actor. On
no other
TV
country
show.
has more freedoms than the United States.
Oh my God, look at me. I can walk like this in Orange County, all white, Caucasian American. They say hello to me. They say hello to me. How are you, Fahim? I like your wardrobe. And they never look at me down. They never, when I was with the U.S. Marine in Afghanistan, I paid my dues as a culture technical advisor linguist. I came back. I was all over the newspaper in Orange County. People come and say, salute me, thank me for my service. You know, I'm so upset sometimes. American, doesn't matter what color you are. When you complain, if you don't like it, get out. I'll buy your ticket.
Yeah, totally.
Amen, brother. Amen.
You know?
Now, just so people understand, is that in the midst of his acting career, he left Hollywood to become an interpreter for the United States Marine Corps in Afghanistan, putting his life at risk, and something you didn't see a lot of from other people in Hollywood. This guy did it. Now, you would have seen that back in the day when, I
think one actor did it in 1972 or 1963 or something. One actor went to awards on. Yeah, I mean, most of them, they took off, like Muhammad Ali and Clint Eastwood, a couple other ones. They paid their dues, but they didn't go to war.
Didn't Elvis serve? Or was he in combat?
Who?
Elvis Presley.
Elvis served, in the 50s. My dad served in the same area as him, not in the same unit, but he was there at the same base. And they served at the same time. You had other people. I mean, look, Kurt Russell, he served. The big thing, if you wanted to stay out of the war during the Vietnam War, was join the National Guard or the Air National Guard. And that's what a lot of guys did. George Bush did it. A lot of actors did it, including Kurt Russell. And still, God bless them, they fucking served. But what you did is you're mid-career. Already,
the reason I did it because I want to go see safe people. If I do the right translation, make sure the Taliban don't kill the Marines and Marines don't kill the civilians. Civilians don't get. Every day I was patrolling. I don't know. I was coming back to my fob or not. I was coming back to my base or not. And I was sitting 20 Marines sitting here, 20 Taliban sitting in. I'm in the middle translate. And this guy's from Texas, hard-headed. He's a Taliban, hard-headed. They both have a AK-47. That side has a different gun. And one wrong translation, trust me, they start shooting each other. Even my captain, he was kind of hard-headed Texas guy. He said, tell him, go this, do this, do this. I'm saying, okay. Then I tell the Taliban, he's not happy. If I was telling the Taliban, if your mother, if you this, trust me, the war start shooting between each other. And same thing with the Taliban. Why you're in my country? Your mother F, this. And I tell the colonel, American don't mind if you call him F mother, but my captain, he said, for him, tell me that's okay. I said, sir, you calling your mother a bad name.
Well, that's the thing with literal cultures. Right. I mean, we used to be a literal culture, but the more we became more casual with our language since the 50s, we became less and less of a literal culture.
Right.
There was a time if you said "God damn you" in America, that fucking meant something.
Right. Especially for us
nowadays.
Especially for us, our mother's almost a god. First a god, second our mother. If someone say "if your mother," that's why
you lose your shit.
Yeah, that's why Afghanistan has been invaded by 8 different empires. Now Americans leaving. I mean, there's going to be 9 different empires leaving because we always protect our land and our women, our children. And when the Americans leave, we kill each other. That's it.
But are we really leaving? Do we really ever leave?
No.
I think we still have bases in Japan and Germany and Korea.
Thank you. It's all politics. It's all politics right now. It's all politics. People, American government or CIA is not as stupid. They spend $1 billion and they want to leave. Doesn't make sense. They still in Iraq, in the corner of one Iraq. They're still there.
Well, we got some comments already. One has a question for you.
Sure.
Kylock wants to know: do they cast him only as the bad guy in movies?
Nope. Usually, I play father, tribe leader, warlord, and sometimes, yes, when there's someone else not taking the jobs, because a lot of actors they're being sensitive right now. Oh, I don't want to play bad guy. Okay, good luck. I'll take it. And,
I'll take it.
And as a warlord is usually they're not bad. Warlord is more leader. Tribe leader is more leader. I wouldn't concern them as a bad guy, but I did play a bad guy before. I play as a leader of a head of the group of Taliban, and I play a terrorist.
Was it 68 Whiskey? Which one was it where you played a father?
I'm with Bill Murray, Rock the Casbah.
That was it, Rock the Casbah. You're a dad.
On the 68 Whiskey, I was a tribe leader. I made it wheeling with the American, and I give them hashish, Afghan hashish, and they gave me aspirin, Tylenol, all these other stuff.
And CJ Swordpunk says, "Woot! I like Fazli. Preach it, man." This is different the last time because last time we recorded the interviews. Now we go live.
That's awesome. I want to thank you for the bottom of my heart what you did for my book Fahim Speaks.
Well, that's how we met. It's
you designed the cover, and you're a very creative, very intelligent man, and thank you for doing it. Now is Tom Hanks reading it, President Obama, President Bush, Tom Hanks endorsed it. Clint Eastwood's reading. Everybody's reading your cover, my friend.
My favorite still is the photo of Bill Murray with my cover art in his mouth.
Yeah, Bill Murray is holding
like he's eating the book. My wife asks, some of the best bad guys in movies are played by the nicest, most wonderful people you could ever meet in person. So I guess that's a compliment saying how nice you are.
Thank you.
That's my wife.
Actually, most of badass guys, even in the street, if you go talk to them, they're very kind and nice. I know they're in the wrong crowd. They always yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? And the yo, what's up? They got brainwashed. And if you keep deep talking to them, they're very cool and very nice people. And thank you for the comment. Thank you.
And of course, Mr. Tickle Trunk wants to know, what is Fahim's favorite cheese?
American, actually. American cheese.
Yeah, you like it. Cheese. Now you like it sharp, or
I like it sharp.
Good stuff.
I have a very high metabolism. I can eat any kind of cheese or any kind of fat. I burn it fast because I play volleyball and I have ADD. I cannot sit in one place. I'm always moving.
Yeah, well, my ADD only works in my head, so I sit on my ass and my brain goes like that. So
you're smarter than me, then. You're smarter than me.
I masturbate a lot to combat my ADD.
Oh yes, I'm so glad you shared that, Sven. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Oh, did you guys hear? Did you guys hear they closed Walmart in Afghanistan?
No,
because too many targets.
Oh! You got me with a dad joke. Okay.
I love that joke.
Mr. Tickle Trunk also says, How did Fahim become such a badass?
Badass on the movie or on regular life?
You had to have ice water in your veins to
Let's
sit
say
in the middle
both,
of
because I
Marines.
think he's impressed with you being, serving the Marine Corps.
Let me give you a look. I'm not a badass. I act like a badass. Your question, thank you for asking. I was very afraid of my dad, and I was always want to become an actor, become a Marine. And I love my dad. My dad passed away a year ago. And I'm not saying I've been abused, but all those slap, all this beating, what he did to me when I was younger, and now it's paid off. I'm so glad he direct me the right direction. I was 12 or 13 years old. I was have a slingshot to hit the Russian in the head or tanks. Did a lot of bad things when I was 12. I want to fight against the communists. And my dad beat me up. I didn't go to school because I don't want to be a communist. I got beat up. I was flying kites, and I come home, I get beat up by my dad. And I love him. I love him because he told me to be straight, and it all paid off. He teach me how to cook. He appreciate me and I respect him. And why I pay my dues for this country as a badass, good as a Marine, and why I made a decision, left my Hollywood career. You have to understand, Mr. Tucker, this country done a lot for me. This country gave me a lot of opportunity. This country need me because of my language, my knowledge, the region I know. And if I go do it the right translation, bring one Marine or one soldier home safe, I can sleep better. If I'm ignoring this country, some of us talk behind bad this country. I have one message. Please leave if you don't appreciate the flags, if you don't appreciate the Constitution, if you don't believe our soldier, if you don't believe our nation, I'm asking you leave, and I'll pay for the ticket. But the other things, why I went over there, because this country done a lot for me. And why I'm express myself in the movie as a badass, I want to show them how evil they are. I want to show them those characters, how they hijack the religion. They hijack the culture. There's nothing wrong with Christian, Islam, Judaism, or Hinduism. We are the one hijack the Bible, the Quran, the Torah. We translate the wrong way. Go blow up yourself. Do this, be racist or child molest or this. Doesn't matter what race, what culture you are. You have to respect the 4 books God gave it to us and respect other religion. Yes, the reason I'm doing this one, and I'm not ashamed of this, to be badass or terrorist or tribe leader, I want to introduce them how evil they are.
Great. I got a question for our guest here, and because you come off as a person with a lot of integrity, and that is something that is now unheard of in Hollywood. So how do you survive in that environment where there are lots of double crossers, people with no integrity, people with no values at all, that would sell their mothers for a nickel or something? How do you cope with all that?
Be honest with you, I never bring my business with religion or politics. I never mixed it. I just walk in, I do my job, and some of them, yes, not appreciate this country. Some of them do appreciate this country. My mom gave me the best advice: do not discuss politics or religion. Just say hi, bye, get in front of the camera, and leave. Yes, some of them against me, some of them favor what I did for this country, what I'm doing for this country. And you have to understand, both sides hate me. When I was in Afghanistan helping the Marines, the Afghan hate me, call me traitors. And when I'm doing a lot of badass movies or terrorists or tribe leader, they always look at me down. They says, you introduce our nature, our culture as a bad. I'm saying, yeah, we do have a bad apple everywhere. Every culture has a bad apple. Every religion has a bad apple. Be honest with you, the question you did, thank you for your question. I'm both sides, I'm in dangers. Both sides. If I'm turn my face this way, I get slapped by that side. If I turn my face that way, I get slapped by this way. I rather never talk politics, never talk religion, and I'm proud of what I did for this country. I'm proud what I did for Afghan, and I'm proud I save a lot of people. I'm proud I'm coming to living in the most beautiful country in the world.
And for the next portion of the show, we will talk about religion and politics. But and I dig the way you think, Fahim. And
yeah,
I was so grateful when because everybody knows that I work for Dale Dye, and he published your first book, the award-winning book, Fahim Speaks. And it's a great book. I did the wraparound cover for it. Very proud of it.
You can pop it out online right now. I didn't bring it with me.
Because of that, I really got a chance to meet you. And that led to one of the funniest things I'd ever had was our first phone call.
Yep.
And do you remember what you called me on our first phone call?
No, I didn't. Can you remind me?
You called me boss, and it was so.
Oh yeah, boss. Odd. Yes. There you go. Pull it up. My picture of my book.
There's the book. That's it.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't have the copy in front of me.
That's okay.
You did a good job. You did a good job. I'm very proud of you.
I wanted to make sure I captured and I felt like if I just painted it, it would just look like a painting. I wanted it to show the depth of your face, so I did a pen and ink with paint brushes, and so it brought depth to your face, and I like that.
You did.
But hey, anybody got some questions here, panel?
Come on.
Well, I can go. Fahim, it's great to meet you. And in these
Same
stories,
here, sir.
I'm actually having a deja vu a bit. God, it was about 10, 11 years ago now. I got to work for a week with a very talented cinematographer from Afghanistan named Obaid Malik. I can't say it. Malikyar.
Malikyar. Is he doing the United States of Al? Is he part of that?
He might be. We were talking for years after that, but we've kind of lost track of each other lately. But
sure.
But that week was fascinating. I was like a first AC for him, and just listening to you, I'm like, oh my God, this is all the same stuff Obaid used to say.
Yeah, if he left 1980s, yeah, we have similar stories.
Yeah, and he was a translator on the side for the United Nations. So it was a great week, and my hat's off to you. I'm in awe just listening to you. So I just wanted to tell you that. I
hope one day we get a chance to meet you in California and sign a book and give it to you, and you will see how I started, how I was born, and how I fought the Russian. And 30 years later, I go fought the terrorist. I mean, my book, I'm not trying to sell it. We already have sold it 300,000-400,000 copies last 5 years. And Bill Murray is reading it. It's a great example for kids. If you have kids, I would definitely recommend them to read it, because, I mean, you guys as a parents, you guys do a lot for your kids and stuff like that. But an example, they should understand the value of the fridge full of food and hot water, cold water. They have like 1,000 tennis shoes. They have jeans. They have to. I would definitely recommend my book to people read it, and for their kids, if their kids cannot read it. I mean, the other countries, like, they don't have a bread to eat. They don't have a tea to drink or sugar to eat. I mean, we are blessed for this country. This country is awesome. And that's why I've been talking with a lot of talk show to push this one, to appreciate this country, what this country done it for you guys and will do for you guys. Beside religion or politics.
I'm actually out in your area quite a bit, so.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome to give me a call.
I'll have to look you up, definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we've gotten past the weird part of the show,
the weird part.
Yeah, it is like it's almost like you're hitting on Fahim. Come on, dude.
That's okay. I used to.
Hey, man.
That's okay. I'm still in the closet. I haven't come out yet.
You haven't come out
yet. That was so funny. English is my sixth language, actually. My lady was there. Honey, where are you? Where you? I'm gonna say I'm in the closet and I haven't come out yet. She was laughing. I'm saying, what the fuck? She's laughing. See, if when you translate word by word, you have to, then you guys have so many dirty words to twisted word. Sometimes I don't get it, but they're still good. I love it.
Well, oh, I'm sorry, Keith. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No. Go ahead.
No. Fuck you. Go ahead.
I was just wanting to know: is there a particular role that you would love to play, unlike anything that you've played in the past or recently? Is there a particular role that you would love to play yourself?
I like to play the beginning of the movie. My character, people always have a suspicious look about me, and later on, I come out, I'm a good guy. And I want to play some kind of suspicious look. The audience get fooled until the 5-minute last of the end of the movie. Audience say, "Oh shit, that wasn't the bad guy. The bad guy is the other guy." That's what I like to play.
I could see you playing a detective. You have an interesting look. You know, you could easily be someone that could figure out puzzles and understand people.
I can play any kind of role, like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, all these people. They give them the script, like what's his name, Tom Hanks. They're very above. They're very knowledgeable. I wish I can get close to their right there, but I'm still give myself credit because when I read the script, I become that person for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There's another movie. I was Rock the Casbah with Bill Murray, and that was so easy for me to roll it as a father because at home here I'm a good father to my daughter Sophia Fazli, and that was very for me easy to deliver it the dialogue. But some roles you have to become a very dark and evil, and you stay in that character. Sometimes I don't go outside, say hello to anybody, just focus on that character, stay for a month, 2 months. It's a lot to do with reading. It's a lot to do with how you become, what do you call it, that character, how you observe it in your knowledge.
Okay, well, I guess I'll ask another question. Oh.
Is there any particular character that you were like, oh, I can't stand it, you know, like you end up hating it, like, no, I can't believe that I play this character.
No, I play everything. I just did a movie, TV show, I apologize, music video, Kelly Page, Help Yourself. And as a Jesus, I play as a Jesus, and I really enjoyed that. And I was a little off, but still enjoy it. That was very good. There you go. As a Jesus, I play out in the middle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right there. Yeah. And that was very good characters, and I'm always get typecast, but I don't mind at all. I mean, you have to understand, you cannot be Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks. They have their own niche. I have my own niche. And the only bad experience I have, these immature actors or wannabe actor on the set sometimes try to cut you off, or I'm sitting in my own chairs practicing my dialogue or something. They says, hey man, they start talking. I'm totally, sometimes now I understand why these other actors, big actors, don't want a public around them, because they're zoom in their own character when they play in 10 minutes later.
Okay.
But some of them they don't have experience, but even you explain it to them, but they still don't know.
You're also in a music video.
Yeah, I did a John Legend, I did a Lenny Kravitz, and I did a Kelly Page. And John Legend, I got a Surefire. If you pull it out right now, Surefire on YouTube, and I get a very big role on that. I'm a father there too, and my daughter fell in love with the Hispanic mechanic guy, and I'm against it, and I call them migration. And my daughter and him take off and run away from home and go to Mexico.
Oh. Wow.
Here, I'm going to share the book cover again so everybody can see it.
Sure.
Now, this version of the cover is the first
You
version.
did, yeah, the first version, yeah.
Yeah, that the bottom section is taken off.
The bottom section, that was against the government rules, and I passed that picture. Then later on, we found out we're not supposed to post that picture. I took that picture because we got attacked by Taliban. I remember exactly what time was it. That was 8:30 in the morning, and we landed. As soon as we landed, and rockets came in left and right. Then I snap a picture, and Captain Benson is the one in front with darkest face. That's Captain Benson.
Yeah, it's the later version of the book has this is gone. The photograph down at the bottom was replaced by the fact that you got the Military Writers Award.
Yeah, right.
Your co-author Michael
gold award. And that right corner under Fahim Speaks, that's a Tom Hanks endorsed it because I worked with Tom Hanks
on Charlie Wilson's
World. Yeah.
Which is funny because a friend of mine, Kurt Yeager, played an Afghani with you in that film, but he's quite American. They got him because he had the leg amputated.
Oh yeah,
and so
a lot of Marines, a lot of Army. They're doing acting because they lost their legs in Afghanistan and Iraq. IED.
Well, that's something that I've been very interested in doing with the stuff that I do,
right?
And with Dale in particular is to involve more. Because I hate the word handicapped, and disabled.
Needed. No, what's the polite word? Needed. A special need. Need.
I hate to interrupt, but I do have to go. There's a type of an emergency, and I just want to say it was nice to meet you. I wish we could have more of a serious conversation. I love your outfit. I'm very turned on. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm still in the closet. I haven't come out yet, but you have.
I'll be the first. I'll be the first one there with sandpaper gloves for you.
That's okay. I have a lot of hairs. You have to shave this.
Oh, awesome! We'll go from bottom to top. We'll go from bottom to top. I appreciate
that's okay. That's okay. The brush. The brush doesn't work on me.
I don't worry. I spoon, so it's all good. We'll make up for it in the cuddles.
I have so much hairs, they might choke your King Kong.
Oh, that's cool. I cry a lot and very insecure, so we'll make up for it. You all have a great.
Thanks for being here, Steven. I'll see you later, buddy.
Take care, Steven. Good job,
have a
buddy.
lovely day and enjoy your weekend too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
What language does Fahim speak? I speak 7 languages. The comment in the bottom. I speak Pashto, Dari, which is this original from Afghanistan. I speak Urdu from Pakistan. I speak Indian from India. And I speak Arabic from Morocco. And yo sabo español también. Yo practico la escuela con amigos. That's your answer. And sometimes English.
And if you want to, gibberish.
Gibberish, yeah.
Hardest part that you've played?
Hardest part I play, I was a Taliban leader. I was the mountain of the New Mexico. No, actually, one of Northern Alliance from Afghanistan. The 12th is strong with Chris Hemsworth. Like 3 a.m, freezing cold and running in the mountain with the AK-47, real AK-47 RPG, and running our horses. The horses was wild and ice. Well, you have to pass the camera 80 miles. How fast a horse goes? 40 miles? 30 miles? Maybe 30?
25 to 30, I think.
Yeah, 30 miles per hour. I have to pass.
At full stride.
Yeah, full stride. And I have all the weapons. That was the hardest time I had play. And I'm so glad I didn't get hurt. A lot of actors got hurt. Choppers come and pick them up. And I was that close to can we find a stuntman for me? But I was so stubborn. I didn't ask for a stuntman. And I did all my stunt myself.
One more reason why you're a badass, buddy.
Right? Yeah. And I'm so glad I know how to ride a horses. A horse is very important to learn. And other things, I want to learn motorcycle because I lost a lot of jobs because I don't know how to ride a motorcycle.
Oh, go do it. It's fun. I wouldn't do it. it's too dangerous on highways, but it's still fun to. I like dirt biking when I was younger.
Dirt biking is fun. Yeah.
Let's see. Tickle Trunk asks, does acting come easy, or is there a lot of challenges? Also, is it more fun or more work to act for Fahim?
Whoever says acting is easy, they're not good actor. Acting is a challenge. Acting is a nervous breakdown. Acting is anxiety. Acting is to express yourself, who you are in the front of the camera, what character you're playing. And acting is even top actor. I talk to them. I ask Bill Murray, before you go and you're seeing you're nervous? I say, Fahim, yes, everybody get nervous. If you're not nervous, you're not a good actor and you're not serious about it. And same thing with job interviews, same thing with acting. Other things about acting is the rejection. Rejection, you have to accept. You have a very strong personality and very healthy personality to accept rejection. And thanks God, when lately I'm getting offered by my acting, but I've been rejected 1,000 times, but I got 100, 200 from 1,000, and I'm still happy about it. And I'm not gonna give up, and I'm not gonna be comfortable with my acting. As soon as I get comfortable, that means I'm losing my career. I have to be serious, and I have to be nauseous. You have to be nervous. I have to be greedy.
Well, you're a working actor. I mean, that's why you were late today. We're not going to talk about it because it's. But I love that you're constantly working, trying to get new jobs.
Right.
And look at you, man. I have to say, you're youthful.
Thank you.
You're youthful in how you approach things, and I like that.
That's a good question right here.
Gary, you just got weird as I did.
You're weird.
The chat's on fire with the questions. I can't really chime in because these questions are too good.
This is funny question because Socks, he was in Charlie Wilson's War.
Oh.
So here's his question. Fahim, have you seen the movie Charlie Wilson's War? Is about the conflict between Russia and Afghanistan, and the U.S. get involved. It was Tom Hanks in it. Is the movie accurate as what happened in the war? I will say this. Fahim's part was very accurate.
My part was I was culture technical advisor, language coach for the whole project. And I worked with them almost for a year and a half to develop this movie together. Charlie Wilson himself, I had 1,000 meetings with him, with Robert De Niro, with Nicole, the director, Mike Nicole. And we were in Morocco for 6 months, and I was make sure everything was accurate. When Charlie Wilson and Ronald Reagan sent Stingers to Afghanistan in 1985, and I was there, and I was make sure everything was accurate. Yes, it is accurate and it's true. And one thing American did it when they go somewhere, that's a bad thing is about the American government. When they go place and they walk away, and they always leave them an empty promise, which is what they did it to freedom fighter Mujahideen. They give them a free empty promise and they walk away. And that's why the Taliban took over. And same thing the story is gonna be repeat. Same thing. And then November, we're gonna leaving 2001, we're gonna leave Afghanistan, and it's gonna be back to Stone Age, back to chaos, back to give power to terrorists and Al Qaeda and close-minded Taliban.
Yeah, there you go, Mr. Tickle Trunk. CJ also had a question there. Can you put that one up? Thank you. Did you ever want to star in a movie as a ninja or kung fu master with the theme song that shouts?
I did a Saddam Hussein versus Pol Pot.
I wanted to bring that up because that was one of my favorite things that you did. You played Saddam Hussein.
I used to watch that show a lot. I've seen a lot of those.
What do you call it? The Warrior? It's called The Warrior, right?
It is called.
Yeah, no?
Oh, I just had it.
The Warrior.
I love that show.
Warrior.
It had Warrior. Had you as Saddam Hussein versus Pol Pot, and you killed Pol Pot in the end.
I killed him. I cut his head off. No, actually, I blew up his head. As on YouTube right now. That was the most interesting green screen. I did a lot of green screen. And Pol Pot, the guy was playing Pol Pot. He put a wig on. He doesn't want to get killed in this country because Pol Pot was so powerful. And even he said for him, don't ask my name, don't know where I am from, this, because Pol Pot still have a power in this country. Pol Pot followers. He was from Cambodia. Yeah, he was. I had a great time with that movie. I mean, this is called TV show.
Yeah, it's really what he did after the Vietnam War after we pulled out that just made him a global villain. Was that he was at the head of the murder of over 2 million people in Vietnam and Cambodia. Yeah. So anybody who helped America fight the war.
By the way, if I go back to Afghanistan right now, because I was culture technical advisor linguist, all those villages in Afghanistan. If Taliban next 2 months going to take over, if I go over there, first thing they're going to do, they hang me.
Yeah.
They don't like me.
Please don't go back there. Please don't go back there.
If the right cost, I'll go. I'm not.
Keep making movies.
Jacob says, have you ever been hurt badly doing your own stunts?
Yes, on 12 is Strong and Rock the Casbah, I fall down from the horse. I didn't get hurt very badly, but I was hurting my leg. And the other things was we were shooting almost 13, 14 hours. Riding horse was hurting my crotch.
Yeah.
I was bleeding days by days, and we didn't do good job for prop. Actually, they did good job in a prop. I take it back. I was so stubborn. I have to take this other pillow out because I wasn't comfortable to ride a horse the right way. And a lot of prop people, they pack it up more on top of the, what do you call this, chairs on top of the horse?
Saddle.
Yeah. They did it so big and my legs wouldn't reach the little thing. And yes.
Stirrups. Oh, man.
Yeah, thank you.
The stirrups are there to keep you from putting all your weight on your groin.
Yes, thank you very much.
I rode horseback.
You have to go with the flow. Yep. And my back was hurting for 6-7 months. Yeah, it is kind of not major hurt, but that was all my fault. I should do it the right way. But you have to understand, the camera doesn't want you to stand up the camera wants you to come like this, and you pass the camera and make sure you do it the right way to camera catch.
Exactly. Now, Kylock has a question for you, too.
Sure. Kylock.
There we go. If I'm being honest, Fahim has the Bond villain look. I hope that's not a bad thing because the Bond villain is as important as Bond himself, right?
Right.
But I have a question. What kind of role do you want to play?
Can I make a statement before you answer that?
Sure.
I see you more as, I would love to see a modern version of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and see you as Captain Nemo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like Captain
That
Nemo.
would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question, Kylock. And that's very nice of you. Keep asking all these beautiful questions. Be honest with you, I'm open. Beside porn, I do everything.
But you're open to porn, right?
when I come out from this closet, yeah. But I want to stay here for a while.
Oh, man.
You know you remember the car Datsun?
Oh,
yeah.
You know who come up with that car? This Afghan guy created, like, he dropped pictures of everything. Yeah. He went to Japan. He says, I want to make this car in 3 months. The Japanese says, that soon? Did you get it?
Yes.
That soon?
You've sucked me now. You suckered me with 2 dad jokes.
2 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means there's a third one coming, Gary.
Yeah.
Why bicycle?
Comedy.
Why bicyclists cannot stand up by themselves? Too tired.
Too tired. That's it. Comedy comes in 3s. Don't forget to tip your waiter.
Okay.
Well, we're down to our last 10 minutes.
Sure.
And I wanted to kind of get into a little bit of where you're going now. I know we can't talk about what happened today, but what else do you have got going, buddy? What do you got going right now?
Thanks to you. First, the big news: the script's already done about Fahim Speaks, and we approached already 2-3 investors. We had a 3 meeting, and we have 2 other meetings coming up after 4th of July. And my second book is already out, Blood and Family, and that book is doing good, nonfiction. And I have
that wasn't published by Warrior, though, was it?
No,
I was about to say I didn't do the cover.
No, someone else did it. If you want to recover, I would love to give you credit. If you want to what do you call it? 1 year's anniversary is coming next month. You're welcome to be involved.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do that. And what else? I have 6 other movies lined up, but there I have a fears to not release it to Netflix or other computer, what do you call it, online, because they spend so much money right now. They want to wait when the theaters open. They want to make money. But right now, everybody is in trouble because they don't want to release their movie. But my other movie is going to release in June, July, August 21st. It's called The Prey, which is your type of movie. As big animals come in, eat me. I'm one of the tribe leaders. And the rest I'm not going to release the infos because I don't want to get in trouble. And life is beautiful. And doing a lot of voiceover here, a lot of TVs, movies, a lot of government jobs I do. I'm like you say, I'm jumping everywhere. I'm not a greedy.
And even though you're not actually did any work in it, you are in my comic book.
Yes. And thank you for your comic book, which is going to come out soon. And thank you for your next offer. The movie is going to come on. You got me a good character. I choose the character Jamil, which is
named after your dad.
Yeah, named after my dad. Well, I can't wait to finish that. And
every time I work with you on something that I create, I always let you name your character.
Yeah, because much easier for me because that region I know what's gonna name.
And you know the meanings of names too, and I like that.
Right. I mean, you guys should know about your meaning of your names. Some people don't.
My name comes from Garad, which originated, I think, as Herod in the Middle East, and then became Garad, and then became Garad, Gerald, and eventually in the 20th century, they softened the G to Gerald. And that's why people who don't know the history of the name Gary call me Jerry.
Oh, correct. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then there's Black Keith and White Keith.
That's awesome.
I was named after Keith.
You were named after Keith.
I'm so much.
Keith is a Scottish word, and it's wood or forest. So it's a 19th century Scottish word name.
Our name means wood.
Wood, forest.
Wow.
Also from the battleground.
I guess you could say you were sporting some Keith. Oh, poor Sven wiped his face on that one like that was terrible. That was terrible. Sven, what does that name mean, Sven?
It means, I don't know, Sven. I've used Sven as a moniker, as an online moniker for, probably 15 years. I made a profile on the game on the PlayStation 3.
So your name is Ninja?
Yeah. No, those are my pronouns.
Now, Viking is actually in the UK, It's late for him there, I think. Yeah, it's like midnight or some shit.
Close to, yeah.
Yep. Staying up past your bedtime, mate. And he now I detect that he's not just from Liverpool. I always pick up this odd accent with you. Do you have something else there?
Other than my accent? We've got... Yeah?
Yeah, more than one accent mixed in there?
Yeah, I've got like this is my regular voice, my regular accent. But then when the Viking speaks, it's I try to mix it a little bit, like with a little bit of Norwegian accent.
Ah, that's what I catch. Okay, all right.
Yeah, all right. And
but
he's
from the same place as the Beatles, Fahim.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
yep. So
nice.
Yeah. So and I can also speak Spanish.
Oh God.
Yeah, Sven. Skål, Sven. Skål. But I can also speak Spanish, and then they tell me that I also have like a different accent when I speak Spanish. So then, yeah, I mean, for every different language.
Now, do you speak Castilian Spanish?
No, I don't know. I mean, I just say, hola, ¿cómo están todos? And but they say that it's like, sounds strange. Maybe because what you say, right?
Or todo está bien. Todo está bien. ¿Cómo
todo
estás?
Está bien, yeah. But I think that it has
I think you're more speaking Cuban Spanish.
Yeah, that's what they have told me. Like it is like Latin American or something like that. So then I suppose that it's strange because Europe, right? I mean, Castilian Spanish is like more common here. But yeah, it sounds like more Latin or something. Yeah.
But now, Fahim, you learned Castilian Spanish, right?
I learned kitchen, busboy from Pomona, California.
Oh, then you learned guttural Spanish, which is Mexico and northern South America.
I learned Spanish when I was working in the kitchen. My first job in America, I was cook, and I learned from there. When I moved to white community and I learned English, I said, "What the fuck I did wrong?" That's why I still have a problem with my spelling. I have a problem, and I have some pronunciation. I have a problem because I learned Spanish first.
Hey, there's a Monkey Jeebus just said something. Did you work on 24 at all?
Yes, I work on 24.
So there you go, Monkey Jeebus. You have a connection with 24.
I was in season 6. And do you want to hear what's going on?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's got fired for Central Casting, and a couple other guys, famous people, got fired from Central Casting. We're coming back on 24. I was working as an extra in the beginning of my career. I just got a job, dialogue. I was very, very new. I was very excited, and I was very star hungry. I want to take a picture with this. And I took a picture with Kiefer Sutherland when I was on the set, and the producer saw me, and the director saw me. Kiefer Sutherland didn't say anything, but I saw his face. He didn't like it. I approached him with the camera, and I got my lunchroom, and after lunchroom, they called me. They said, "Fahim, you're fired." Then I called Central Casting. They fired me and said, "We're fired here too. Get the fuck out. Do not come back again." And that was a blast. I got fired, and look at my careers right now. Otherwise, I stay there for extra the rest of my life.
Ha! Wow. Now, Zach's just gave us a super chat of $5, Canadian $5. Thank you, sir. Gary, please ask the question I asked the 350. All right, here's the question. Script Doctor pitched a revenge story about a Muslim man who comes to America. The twist is that he's labeled as a terrorist even though he's the good guy. Would you be interested in a role like that, Fahim?
Can you repeat the question? If I'm as a Muslim guy, you come into America, play a bad guy?
Would you be interested in playing the guy that's labeled a terrorist but is actually the good guy?
Yeah, I don't mind.
There you go, Zach's.
I don't mind. Like I said,
run off and let Script Doctor know.
Yeah, I would love to play any kind of roles. And as long as you don't put a Bible and the Quran or Torah under my feet or kick it, as some things I have against
I get it.
Or burn the Bible or burn the Quran or burn as long as it's not in the script, I'll do everything.
I totally get that. Yeah. But we are now at the end, Fahim. I really want to thank you for showing up.
I apologize, I was late.
No worries. We're gonna have to have you come back and we'll do another show with you because I can tell everybody enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you.
And now they know why I'm friends with you because you're so fucking awesome.
No, I'm friends with you because you're awesome, and I love you. I love you like I'm a brother. And we're gonna talk about my second book. I would love to give you credit if you can make a cover for it. That'd be awesome.
Well, we need to talk about that and doing for a pitch package. You should talk with me about doing a mock-up, comp poster for Fahim Speaks. But we'll talk about that another time. Stick around for after the show.
Thank you.
We're gonna definitely chat for a few minutes longer.
Sure.
And but this is the end of the show. This is the part that makes me so sad. It's got to go. But I'm gonna play my favorite video. I want to thank the chat. Great fucking questions, guys. Thank you, Six, for being an amazing administrator on our show. Thank you, Stephen, for showing up. And Fahim, God bless you, man. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for showing me.
Goodbye, chocolate mousse. I'll never forget you. Goodbye, Ducroix. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, Deja Vu. I'll always remember you. And I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.